Let's go to Saturday. We'll do rapid fire. We don't have lines for those games yet, I don't think. No, we don't. Okay, so we'll just pick my favorite conferences. We'll start in the Atlantic 10, a very difficult conference to pick. Here we go. Richmond, VCU. This is a very historic rivalry. They hate each other. If this is a game where you would probably do one of those either team wins by 1 to 5 points, because this game's always close. So maybe look at that tomorrow. But I would probably, I honestly think I would take VCU at home here because it's a rivalry. These teams usually split. Usually the home team wins each round. Richmond's obviously better. But this is a game you don't want to bet unless you do the 1 to 5 point play. Because it's a rivalry. Anything can happen. Rivalries, you just throw out the records. Anything can happen. I'd probably lean VCU here. George Mason, Mass. I hate going against Frank the Tank, but I'm going to take George Mason here. Stay away from it. St. John's, LaSalle rivalry game. I would probably lean St. Joe's in a tight one, but I'm not sure I would bet that game because it's a rivalry. What up, Buddha? How you doing today? Duquesne, Rhode Island. Duquesne's record, I know it doesn't look good, but they are better than that. Here's what I'll do. I think Rhode Island will be favored in this game. Take Duquesne in the points. I'm not going to do a money line here. Take Duquesne in the points. They'll probably be underdog in that game. St. Louis, Fordham. St. Louis is kind of a falling down the cliff right now. Let's go with Fordham, but I'd stay away from that. ACC. I'm doing all the big conferences and then my favorite mid-major conferences. There's a couple conferences you just don't want to bet in basketball unless you're crazy. Okay, Virginia Tech, Miami. Virginia Tech is better, but I think Miami wins at home. Virginia and Clemson. Clemson is the better team, but they are not playing very well right now. Virginia is. Driving right now? Okay. Driving home from work, get off early. Clemson, I don't know what to do with this one. I'd stay away from this game. Maybe look at the line. Maybe an under. I guess I gotta pick a game. So we'll take Virginia. I don't know why. Let's stay away from it. Georgia Tech, NC State. Georgia Tech just coming off of beating North Carolina. I can't see them. This is a letdown spot. I can't see them focused for NC State, so I'll take the Wolfpack at home here in a close one. Notre Dame is awful. Pitt, just pick it. Lock it up. Duke, North Carolina. Tomorrow's game day game. Always a fascinating game when these two match up. Kind of a game you don't typically want to bet because it's a rivalry, but they are fun to bet because you normally get boosts. You get some profit boosts typically with these games. I would lean North Carolina because they're at home. They're a little bit better. I think Duke being the 7th team in the nation, that's too high. They're more like 16 or so, maybe 18. Syracuse, Wake Forest. I like Wake Forest here a lot, actually. It's a great spot for Wake Forest. You're saying Duke, Bailey? Okay, well, good luck with that. Take the points then. They'll be underdog, guarantee. I bet you this will be North Carolina -4. Bet you it'll be -4. Louisville, Florida State. Louisville's atrocious. Florida State in a road win, but that I wouldn't say that's a lock, but it's close. Let's go. We'll stay away from the A-Sun. We'll go American East. American East, one of the decent mid-majors, only because of a few teams. And here's one of them. Vermont. Do we even have to talk about this? There's a couple principles in basketball. You never bet against Vermont in conference play. So just don't do it. Bet Vermont. Take the Catamounts at home and just sign it up. Bryant, Maine. I would take Bryant here in a close road victory. UMass Lowell. I lean UMass Lowell here. Albany, UMBC, go Albany at home. They're also the better team. Like, who the F lives there? Oh, you always forget Vermont State. Yeah, it's not. I'd say there's less than 1 million people that live there. Maybe 1 million, but I would lean like 900,000 people live in Vermont. So you're right. There's not that many people that live there. It's cold. There's no amusement parks that I know of. No water parks. The American. Wichita State, Memphis. Memphis is kind of, what happened to them? Like, what's going on? They were 15-2. And now, all of a sudden, they're 15-6, losing to teams they shouldn't. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to take Memphis, of course. It doesn't make any sense, so that's why we're going to do it. I wouldn't be surprised if Wichita State did pull off the upset, though. Wichita State's not bad. They you look at the record, you think, oh, this team sucks. They're not that bad. So this will be a close game. I think Memphis wins, though. I think they snap out of it. Charlotte, East Carolina, mini rivalry here. Charlotte's playing really well. Take Charlotte. I wouldn't say it's a lock, though. This league, it's very, very few locks. I see one, though, coming up. Rice. What is happening with the... Okay, Rice, UTSA. Take UTSA. Tulsa, Florida Atlantic. Lock up Florida Atlantic. They're at home. They're playing. They're finally figuring things out. They're playing better. Everybody gives Florida Atlantic their best effort. That's why you see a lot of their scores are close. It just happens when you got a target on your back. Take the Owls. South Florida, North Texas. I think South Florida's playing better right now. North Texas is at home. I would expect North Texas to be favored by maybe 3. And if you see a total of in the 120s, 130s, go over, and that is a lock. Because South Florida speeds you up. North Texas slows you down. But typically the team that speeds you up controls the pace. So I think this will be an overplay. And I think South Florida does win in a fairly close game. But if they're underdog, yeah, take it. Take the spread. All right, moving on here. Let's go to the Big 12, the best conference in the country right now for basketball. Texas, TCU. I like the Horned Frogs here. Probably a game that if you wanted to be a little edgy and do one of those any team wins by 1 to 5 points, might not be a bad play there. It's going to be close. Kansas State, Oklahoma State. Lock up the Wildcats here. Oklahoma State is a train that is going on a track that ran out of tracks. So, yeah, it's about ready to crash here soon. Kansas, Houston, probably the best game tomorrow outside of Duke, North Carolina. I think Houston's better, but it's very hard to win at Kansas. If you see Kansas favored tomorrow, I would take the points with Houston. But we're going money line here. And this is a tough one. I think Kansas might snap out of it and beat Houston here. It's a tough spot, but I think Houston's the better team. I would probably bet Houston and grab the points, though. Oklahoma, UCF. This is an interesting game. UCF's been pretty good at home. I think Oklahoma's a better team, though. I'm going to go with Oklahoma. Cincinnati, Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech wins. Very hard to win in Lubbock. BYU, West Virginia. This is an interesting one. I mean, you're going from Provo, Utah, all the way over to Morgantown, West Virginia here. That's a long trip. So I think that might wear on BYU a little bit here. You might think... I mean, BYU's better. They're obviously better. Man, I think this is one of those games where you take West Virginia in the point spread. But I think BYU wins the game, but... very, very tight game. Iowa State, Baylor. Baylor take them at home. And that'll be it for the Big 12. Let's keep going here. I want to spend all day on this. We'll skip the Big Sky. Big South has one of our favorite teams in it. We'll try to find them. Where are they? There's Longwood. Everybody likes Longwood. Here's the team. Let's get away from the ads. High Point is at home. Another principle this year is to bet High Point. Just take it. Don't ask questions. Take High Point, whatever number they give you here. But I'll tell you right now, a money line is an absolute lock. You could throw $100 on a High Point to win the game tomorrow, and it will hit. They are very good. They also are an over machine. They get a lot of overs. Big Ten. Yeah, the Sacs. The Sacs is heating up here on the playlist. Penn State, Indiana. Take Indiana. Minnesota, Northwestern. I think Northwestern's better. We'll go with a very narrow road win there. Rutgers, Michigan. Michigan kind of fall down the toilet, but we'll go Rutgers here because of that. Michigan State, I think, figures things out. It's about time Tom Izzo starts getting his team ready for March. I think they win in a close one with Maryland there. Close game, not a lock. Big West. Yeah, we'll do Big West. Big West has a couple good teams in here. We won't do every game in the Big West, though. Wish the site would load a little quicker for me. Cal Poly sucks. Go UC Davis. Not going to bet that game. Not going to stay away from those. Santa Barbara's better than Bakersfield. I'd go Santa Barbara here. UC Irvine, lock it up against Hawaii. Is there any other games? Nope. All right, moving on here. We're almost out of the bigs. In fact, that was it. Colonial, one of the better mid-major conferences outside of the Missouri Valley, WCC, and Southern. Delaware, Monmouth, I lean Delaware, not a lock. UMC Wilmington, Campbell. I'd probably take Wilmington here. Mini lock. Charleston, William and Mary. I go Charleston here. Hampton, Howard. What? That's not a league game. Oh, it's a Legacy Classic. I go Howard. Not a lock. I'd stay away from these games, but I'd probably take Towson. I'd probably take North Carolina A&T. Stony Brook over Northeastern. I'd say that's going to happen. I'd stay away from those games, though. All right, Conference USA. Got to start going here. I don't want to spend more than 30 minutes on this typically. I want 4 hours at least of Speedstorm. Sam Houston State against the Airport. Go Sam Houston State. Lock it up. Middle Tennessee State and Western Kentucky is a rivalry. And we're going to go with the Hilltoppers. I'd say that's a lock. Well, maybe not because it's a rivalry, but it's close. It's a close lock. New Mexico State, Jacksonville State. We'll take the Aggies here, New Mexico State. And I don't know what happened to Liberty. They're better than UTEP, but I don't know. Liberty's not playing well, so we'll go with UTEP. I'm not sure what happened with Liberty. Maybe they got injuries. I'm not sure. I don't really follow their season that much, other than wins and losses. We'll skip the Horizon. That league's a shit show to bet. We'll skip the Ivy because they're playing tonight. Same with the MAC and the MAC. We'll go down to the Missouri Valley. Never bet the MEAC. Don't do it. That's filthy. All right, probably the best mid-major conference here in the country. Murray State, Northern Iowa. This is a close one. I think Northern Iowa sneaks out with a victory here. Belmont, Missouri State, very close game. I think Missouri State is slightly better. UIC, Southern Illinois. Take the Salukis of Southern Illinois. Lock it up. Bradley, Illinois State. I lean Bradley here. It's kind of a rivalry. I wouldn't lock that, though. Evansville, Valpo. I go Evansville, but don't feel too confident about it. And the best game, one of the best games tomorrow, and certainly the best in the league, Drake at 18-4 against Indiana State, 19-3. I expect both these teams to make the tournament. If not, it would be a shame. This is a bigger game for Drake than it is for Indiana State. So I would take Drake on the point spread here. Keep it close. Indiana State, though, at home. How'd this game go? I want to say Drake won the first game at home. I lean Indiana State, but I would stay away from this game. I'd probably do the spread. Or do an overplay. There's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. Yeah, I'd do over in that one. But if I have to pick a team, I'd probably take Indiana State to get revenge. But I expect both those teams to meet again in the championship game in the tournament. And hopefully the selection committee acknowledges how good those teams are and puts them both in. I just clicked the same league. What am I, a bot? All right, we're almost done here, y'all. Then we'll get to Speedstorm. Got a lot to do, and we got to open Bailey's cards. Utah State, San Diego State, a very good game tomorrow. I think San Diego State beats Utah State, but Utah State's pretty freaking good. After all, they are ranked right now. Air Force, Boise State, this is a lock. Kind of a rivalry, but I think Boise State destroys them at home. Wyoming, UNLV, kind of a tough one. I'd stay away from this, but I'd go with UNLV. Fresno State, Colorado State, I don't know what happened to Colorado State. They're playing so well. Now they're kind of going through the motions, but I do like them here in this spot. I would not say it's a lock, though. All right. If the site would load a little quicker, that'd be great, but it's not. We'll skip the NEC and OVC. We'll go Pac-12 here. We'll go SEC and then Southern, and then maybe WCC, and that'll be a wrap. Oregon State, USC, kind of the bottom of the barrel for the Pac-12 this year. I think I lean USC at home here. They got drilled by Oregon last night, though. Oregon, UCLA, it's an important game for the Ducks. I feel like it's must win. So I think Dana Altman will get them ready, even though we are missing Mookie Cook, we are missing Bartholomew. They might be out for the year. But we do have a pretty deep team. We got 6 or 7 other guys that are still pretty good. So I lean the Ducks here in a very close game. Last time those two are meeting. Oh, no, it's not because they're going to the Big Ten. Scratch that. All right, Cal, Arizona State. Stay away from this game, but I lean Arizona State because they're at home. Both those teams aren't very good. Colorado, Utah. Utah is pretty good at home. I lean Utah here. I would probably end up betting that, depending on what the number is. If it's a short number, I'm going to take Utah. Washington State, Washington, the Apple Cup basketball version. I think Washington State's a pretty good team this year. They might end up making the tournament, but they're on the road in a rivalry game. If Washington is favored, I'd grab those points for Washington State tomorrow. I wouldn't bet this game unless you're doing that. But if I got to pick a winner here, I'm going to probably take the Cougs. They're a little bit better. All right, moving on here. Next conference. We got any good conferences? Yes, the SEC. So we got SEC, Southern, and WCC, and we're done here. Maybe we'll just, if Grand Canyon's playing tomorrow in the WAC, take Grand Canyon. LSU, Arkansas. This game kind of stinks. Arkansas did have a good win the other day, though. I lean LSU here, but Arkansas, has the most talent. So, whatever. Stay away from that game. Georgia, South Carolina. I like South Carolina here in a close one. Missouri, Vanderbilt. Neither team's won a game. I think Missouri's a little more talented. So, I'd take Missouri, but I'd stay away from that game. Auburn and Ole Miss. I think Auburn's better, but Ole Miss has been tough at home. I think I'll go Auburn. I'll go the road dogs here. Tennessee, Kentucky. This is a really good game tomorrow. Winner will have a inside shot at the championship for the league this year. I think Tennessee is better, but they're at Kentucky. I really think these teams split. The home team wins this year. So I think Kentucky wins this one, but we beat them at our place the next time. Alabama, Mississippi State, take Bama. And then Florida, Texas A&M. I would probably lean A&M at home, honestly. I'm not really sure what happened to that team, though. Okay. So many games. The Fridays always take longer because there's so many games, like 100 games tomorrow. Maybe even more. Southern. Yeah, I give the Southern Conference some love. Mercer, lock it up against VMI. VMI is awful. So, yeah, throw 100 at Mercer. No, just kidding. But you could. You could feel comfortable doing it. Wofford, Western Carolina. I liked what I saw with Western Carolina. I saw them play the other day. I take them. Not a lock, though. East Tennessee State at home against the Citadel. I take East Tennessee State here. Samford, Chattanooga. One of the better games tomorrow in the nation, mid-major wise. Samford 19-3. They look really good. Chattanooga's won 5 straight, but they're at home. Sanford's probably going to be favored in this game. So I would probably take Chattanooga in the positive points. But I would stay away from a money line bet in this game because, this is a tough one. I think Chattanooga can win the game, but they got killed by Sanford the first time. So I lean Chattanooga here because they're playing better, but not a lock. I'd stay away from it. I'd probably do an over in that game. There's going to be a lot of points scored. Sanford loves to speed you up, and Chattanooga, they've put up 90 or more the last 2 games. So there you go. You see a 150. Number will probably be 150, 160 tomorrow. We'll see. Sun Belt, we'll look to see if James Madison or App State are playing tomorrow. Forgot about that. We won't bet Marshall because of what they did to J-Con. So we're going to not even talk about them. They don't deserve it. James Madison, Old Dominion, that's a rivalry. Go James Madison, lock it up. It is a rivalry, though, but I do think that James Madison is far superior team. App State at Georgia Southern. App State will dominate Georgia Southern. And that is all I'm going to talk about for that league. We'll go down to our final conference, the WCC here. Hey, what up, Lipsy?
And then we segue straight into
How you doing tonight?
Group Poop Tasty Tits Taco Tuesday.
Woo! Appreciate the sub, brother.
Butts.
Butts. We like butts around here. Hey, Quan, how's it going? South Carolina has to be a sleeper this year. Dude, 100%. South Carolina's pretty good. They have Chattanooga's old coach. I kind of wish we still had him. Like, he is a great coach. All right, final conference on the picks here. I do upload this segment to YouTube. Just a new thing I've been trying out here. Portland, Pepperdine. I lean with the Pilots here at home. Not a lock. Stay away from that game. Santa Clara, San Diego. Santa Clara, I'd say that's a lock. They're better. They're way better than San Diego. But give Steve Lavin time at San Diego. He'll get him going. Give him a couple years. Pacific is atrocious. San Francisco all day. Lay 100 on it. You'd be fine doing that. St. Mary's Gonzaga, one of the better games tomorrow. It's a rivalry. St. Mary's is better, though. I hate to say it. Gonzaga is just not the same Gonzaga. But they are at home. It's a rivalry. What I do in this game is I'd probably, if the number's large, I would take the underdog in this, whoever it is. But I would honestly stay away from this. Since I have to pick somebody, I'm going to actually pick St. Mary's. I think they're better. St. Mary's is definitely going to beat them at home, though. All right, chat. There it is. We are on the year 96 and 42. Let's hope that we keep that going. Once again, if you gamble, gamble responsibly, and I'm not accountable for your wins and losses. But I am here to give you more wins and losses. But just make sure you're smart. Don't gamble more than you can afford. Maybe 2% of your income each month. That's fine. I'm like a 1%.